Just how bad were the Reds today?
Awful.
Something has changed at Liverpool, and it's starting to show at the highest level.
That what we've just saw tonight, that was like watching a team from a lower division playing someone, it was just that the golfing class was very worrying from a Liverpool point of view.
A 2-0 loss to PSG, no shots on target, barely 30% possession, a team their own manager described as being in survival mode. 4 days earlier, 4-0 against Manchester City. Two of the biggest tests, two performances where Liverpool didn't just lose, they were overwhelmed.
Yeah, you can't complain. It should have been 5, could have been 6. They got outplayed. I heard the commentators talking about, oh, this could be another Anfield night. I think that's a bit of a stretch. No complaints.
But the real story isn't just those results. Since March, Liverpool have lost to Wolves, Brighton, City, PSG, with only one real response in between. They're now 5th in the league, just 1 point above Chelsea, with 16 defeats this season and sitting 24 points behind where they were last year.
Worrying, and you think, how's it got to that? How's it got that bad?
And yet, this was the same club that turned doubters into believers. A team built on identity, intensity, control. Now, new system, big spending, unclear direction.
I think there's a lot of issues at Liverpool right now. You talk about the mentality standpoint, but Adam, yes, you can start the game well, but at the end of the day, what people will look at is the scoreline.
This isn't just a dip in form. This is a team starting to lose its identity. And for the first time since Klopp arrived, Liverpool don't look like they know exactly what they are anymore. So the question isn't just what's going wrong, it's this: are Liverpool slipping into the kind of uncertainty they once avoided? Because if they are, this is why this Liverpool team might be closer to losing its identity than finding its future.
Let's be honest, Liverpool aren't just losing right now, they're losing like a different club, and that's the real problem. A 2-0 defeat to PSG on the 8th of April would have hurt on its own, but the details are what make it genuinely alarming.
In some ways, it's actually a great result for Liverpool, because it could have really been, it should have been 5 or 6 in that game. I mean, the gulf between the two teams was absolutely startling, really.
No shots on target, roughly 30% possession, a back 5 setup that never gave them a foothold in the game, and a manager openly admitting that large parts of the second half felt like survival mode.
I think in the last part of the game it was more about surviving for us than there was ever a chance that we could score. Yeah, you never know, because last season we scored 5 minutes before the end.
That's not a narrow, unlucky European defeat. That's a top 6 club being pinned to their own box and reduced to damage control on one of football's biggest stages. And it didn't arrive alone. Just 4 days earlier, Manchester City put 4 past them in the FA Cup. Different competition, different opponent, exact same story.
They've got this thing about them at the moment when they just sort of crumble. You know, they don't see the danger, they don't smell the danger, they're too easy to score against. And then at half-time, we're all sitting saying, right, what's he going to do? He hasn't got that many options, but he's got options. What's he going to do?
Liverpool being outplayed, out-controlled, and eventually just outrun. Against City, the collapse was almost surgical in how quickly it happened. Liverpool started reasonably well, and then the game tilted and everything fell apart at once. Van Dijk gave away the penalty for the opener. Haaland made it 2 before half-time. Semenyo added a 3rd shortly after the break, and by the end, City weren't even working hard. They were just walking through Liverpool like they weren't there. What PSG and City have in common isn't the way they attacked, it's what they exposed. The moment this Liverpool side stops controlling a game, they don't just struggle, they have no clear way of fighting back. But here's the part that really should worry Liverpool fans. This didn't come out of nowhere. Since the start of March, the results have read less like a team fighting through a rough patch and more like a team slowly coming apart at the seams. A 2-1 defeat at Wolves on the 3rd of March, with a deflected stoppage-time goal twisting the knife. Then a 1-0 loss away to Galatasaray in the Champions League on the 10th of March. Now, credit where it's due, Liverpool responded to that one. A brilliant 4-0 win at Anfield on the 18th of March had everyone breathing again. There they are, you could almost hear people saying. And then, almost immediately, a 2-1 league defeat at Brighton on the 21st of March brought everyone back down to earth. Analysts noted it was Liverpool's 10th league defeat of the season and left them with just 1 point from their last 9 available in the league. 1 from 9. Then City, then PSG. One genuinely impressive performance against Galatasaray, surrounded on all sides by evidence that something is seriously wrong. The league table makes it impossible to look away. Liverpool sit 5th, just 1 point above Chelsea. Analysts also reported this week that they are a jaw-dropping 24 points worse off than they were at the same stage last season. Across all competitions, the PSG defeat pushed their total losses for the campaign to 16. That's not a dip in form anymore. That's a season that has crossed the line from frustrating into genuinely uncertain. And there's one more layer to this, because it's not just results that have shifted. Liverpool's identity has shifted too. Under Klopp, this club had a clarity that felt almost unshakable. Even when the squad needed rebuilding, Liverpool operated with discipline and purpose. They didn't panic spend, they didn't chase. They had a system, on the pitch and off it. Last summer, that changed. Liverpool broke their transfer record to sign Florian Wirtz for an initial £100 million, then broke it again, a British record, to bring in Alexander Isak for £125 million. Then added Hugo Ekitike, Milos Kerkez, Jerima Frimpong. By the time the dust had settled, analysts put their total outlay at close to £500 million. £500 million in one window. Now, spending big isn't automatically wrong. Every club splashes cash sometimes, and you can begrudge ambition. But Liverpool built an entire reputation on doing things differently. Smart, structured, sustainable. That image took years to build. Last summer, they walked away from it in one transfer window. And right now, with the football looking like this, that spend is impossible to ignore, which is exactly why the Klopp comparison keeps surfacing.
A lot of Liverpool fans seem to be bringing up Jurgen Klopp at the moment.
Yeah.
Actually, Liverpool fans at home, get in touch. Would you prefer Slot or Klopp right now? What do you think?
That's a stupid question. Jurgen Klopp all day. I'll try and get him back.
Liverpool's own official website still carries the line from his arrival.
We have to change from doubter to believer. No.
And that wasn't a press conference soundbite that faded by December. It became the soul of everything Klopp built. Intensity, clarity, conviction. Teams that pressed like their lives depended on it and never stopped believing they could impose themselves on anyone. Yes, Slot won the league in his first season. That matters enormously, and it would be unfair to pretend otherwise. But the version of Liverpool on show right now looks like a team that's lost its sense of self. The PSG game said it plainly. Passive shape, no attacking outlet, 0 shots on target, and a manager using the words survival mode in public.
Of course, you think you can do better, and when you press them high, you can force them to mistakes. But I think the way you describe it is maybe the perfect way to describe it. We were in survival mode for large parts of the game.
That's not a team of believers, that sounds like. And you can see it in the way they play. The problem in Paris wasn't just that Liverpool's new system failed. It was that the players looked like they didn't quite believe in it either. Slot switched to a back 5, 3 centre-backs against PSG. And here's the part that makes you wince. Reports after the match revealed that it was the first time he'd ever used that shape at Liverpool, and the squad had worked on it for roughly 2 days before kickoff. 2 days. To learn a brand new defensive structure against PSG in a Champions League quarter-final. The idea made sense on paper. Protect the space, give the backline more cover, limit the damage in the first leg. Sensible enough.
But in practice, Liverpool looked even more passive than usual. No shots on target, around 30% possession, and that now famous survival mode quote from the manager. A back five was supposed to make them harder to beat. Instead, it made them more cautious, more stretched, and almost unrecognizable as an attacking side. The honest version, Liverpool didn't look like a team executing a plan, they looked like a team searching for one. And that's where the Klopp comparison becomes impossible to avoid. Klopp's Liverpool weren't always pretty, sometimes they were absolute chaos, but it was purposeful chaos. High press, aggressive counter-press, fast transitions, emotional certainty. You always knew what they were trying to do, even when it wasn't working. In Paris, Slot's side looked like the opposite. Hesitant, reactive, caught somewhere between pressing and parking. That's why the new shape felt so jarring. It wasn't just unfamiliar, it felt disconnected from everything Liverpool supporters recognize. Then came the decision that made everyone's eyebrows shoot up. Mohamed Salah, Liverpool's most dangerous attacker, the man who puts the fear of God into defenders, didn't play a single minute, sat on the bench for the full 90, and Liverpool still managed 0 shots on target. So if anyone quietly thought Salah was the problem, Paris answered that question pretty firmly. Liverpool removed him entirely and the attack looked worse. Analysts specifically flagged how much Liverpool struggled without him in the lineup, and broader coverage noted how remarkable it was that Slot made substitutions throughout the game and still never turned to his most lethal weapon. Now that decision didn't happen in a vacuum. Earlier in the season, Carragher had said Salah should no longer be a guaranteed starter every week. Then in December, he went further, calling his post-match interview during his falling out with Slot a disgrace. Sky Sports reported that Salah himself said his relationship with Slot had broken down after being benched for a 3rd straight game that same month. So by the time he was left out in Paris, nobody was reading it as simple rotation. It landed like a statement, right in the middle of an already sensitive story about trust, authority, and who's really in charge. But, and this is important, the PSG night exposed something that goes much deeper than one player or one selection call. The real issue is mentality. Slot's survival mode quote was already uncomfortable on its own, but sit it next to what he said after the 4-0 City defeat, that Liverpool had lost their fighting spirit, and then add Van Dijk openly admitting the team had effectively given up. And suddenly, you're not talking about a tactical problem anymore. You're talking about something in the soul of the dressing room. That's a serious thing to say about a Liverpool team, because the single most defining feature of Klopp's best sides wasn't their quality, it was their refusal to fold. You could punch them, and they'd punch back harder. This current team looks nothing like that. Against PSG, they were passive from the first whistle. Against City, they collapsed the moment things went wrong. In the league, they've sleptwalked through too many bad performances for it to be written off as bad luck. Last season's champions played with belief. This team plays like they're waiting to see what happens next, and that's where the bigger fear begins.